this up. We're going live. Pop it.
Hello, 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 peoples. How are you tonight on this fabulous Sunday? I'm coming at you from Orlando, Florida, where we are definitely dirty at the moment.
Yeah.
dealing dealing with several hurricanes. Helene, not so much on my end. Milton, however, that one was a witch would it be.
It was a
So,
beast. You
you
got beat.
know, that was like a demon. Best way to describe it. Sounds, everything, what it took down. Just it was definitely a one for the books. So, but now it's time to rebuild, repair. Some people are still without lights. Thank God I have my lights. I'm grateful for that. The littlest things you got to learn to be grateful for when you're seeing other people just not have that. Imagine not having power. I'm like, yo, you want to come? One of my friends, I'm like, you need a place to stay. Just come stay with me. I feel horrible for people that are going through these
Yeah.
situations.
Mitch was brutal, and this is one of the times where a lot of times when the media says things like we've been because the news is just like any other. I feel like sometimes now entertainment value television, and they get paid by their ads, so they're like over sensationalize everything just to
Yeah.
make people like, oh my God, tune in. But this one, I mean, it was rough, and I was skeptical at first of how bad it was going to be because I thought it was just going to be like, oh my God, they're building it up, they're hyping it up for nothing.
Me too. Me too. Me too. But as it got closer, I was like, oh, wow, this isn't one to sleep on. Like, most of the time it's hyped up.
Yeah,
Most of the time it really does not go as is.
thanks for the likes.
This one was 100% to what they described it to be.
Oh yeah, like it was, and you lived through it, like literally. I hate to say it like that, but the
Yeah.
pictures you showed me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video, guys, of I'm gonna put them all together, like the certain parts of the storms that I caught. I did catch all different times, so I am gonna put something together like a compilation, and I
Do
will
it, yeah.
upload that.
Absolutely. I think just showing people things from real life. I think TikTok, Instagram, Facebook for the boomers. But the social media aspect of sharing information about, things that are happening and in real time in your life, in your area that's not being covered by the news. It's I think that's the biggest advantage of social media we have is that type of communication between all of us. And,
Yeah.
you can show the real deal of what really happened where you are and you're going
Well,
to do it.
well, here's another thing. So FEMA, I had no power for over 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I lost food. There was food that went bad in my refrigerator. There was damage around my house, fences and stuff. And so I applied for FEMA, but apparently I didn't fill it out right. So they said I didn't meet the requirements for the help with FEMA, but I did call and wait on hold for almost 2 hours and they corrected it. So they're going to reevaluate my application.
Yeah,
So,
they're pretty good about it. I mean, when we
yeah.
got hit with Superstorm Sandy, I remember that a tree fell on my car and it damaged it a little bit and I was like, I'm not going to get nothing from it. But they sent the I forget what they call it, the FEMA guy, person human that came out to
What's
the
it
area
called?
to do the
The
assessment.
inspector.
Yeah, you go. Thank you. Wow. Such a complicated word. I could not get it. But that's why K-pop's a smarter one and actually has the degree and I'm just good looking for a
Listen,
living.
we call it balance. Balance.
Notice how she didn't say, no, you're smart too, Jane Johnny from the block. No, she just ate that up right there, but that's okay. You earned that
No, no,
victory.
no, no, no. No, no, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. We are equal. Okay, we are
Not really.
equal.
I think I'll be very blunt here and very true. You could be humble about it all you want. I think that you have a way of dealing and looking at things that I can't really grab my hand around. Like when it came down to the whole educational process, I had 2 days of high school. 2 days, 2 half days of Roosevelt High School before I went to work and dropped out. Somehow fell through the cracks. You later in life went back, got your degree, on a time where I could barely spell. And to this day, still, nothing. So don't be humble. You deserve it. Give yourself that shout. You rock hard. Hard rock, bro.
I mean, thank you. I love you and thank you for that. And I really, really appreciate that. And recognition always makes somebody feel, amazing. However, I was presented the opportunity and I ran with it. And
And you did the right thing.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be presented to me. So I'm
Absolutely.
glad I took it. And I was scared, but I want to go back. So I want to go back, and you already know what I want to do.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And you should. And I think you will. And I know you will. I got to put on my
hurry
readers over here because I can't see nothing. Yes. Yes. I wear glasses. I don't like them anymore.
Okay, looks great.
But, I'll tell you, when I put these on, people have a tendency to listen to me more clearly. Like, they'll believe what I'm saying because of the glasses. Like, it's that type of thing. Like, I think you should become a massage therapist. Now, when I say it with the glasses, I think you should become a massage therapist. You see? You see? The glasses, it made the difference over here. I believed myself when I was saying it.
You were talking to you, or you were talking to me?
I was talking to, I don't remember. I was just talking. I think I was talking. It's just coffee in here. It's just coffee. That's all it
Yes,
is. It's just
just
coffee.
coffee, guys. Coffee.
All right, so let's get into it. We got some interesting topics I was thinking about us going over today, and I think the number one is going a little more detail on what it was like that night for you when Mitch started hitting. Because honest truth, right here, Johnny from the block was a very bad friend that day. Very bad friend. One, I didn't believe it was going to be as serious as it was, and two, Johnny from the block, who's a sweet, caring individual, did not check on his BFF, K-pop, during or after the entire situation of the
Coming
call.
back.
So there you back. And did not realize the seriousness of it until, I got corrected, which bad friend alert. It was very true. It
No,
was a bad. No,
stop.
no, no, you can
Stop.
say it.
Stop.
I admit it. That was a very self-absorbed, selfish thing not to think. But I want you to tell me about that night and tell everybody about that night, what it sounded like, what you said, and it kind of haunted me by what you said.
So that night it started picking up. Like
Thank you
the
for the
rain started
company.
coming in
Thank you for the light.
heavy,
Damn it up.
heavy around like 3, 4 o'clock, right? So, it starts picking up, rains are coming in, everything is shut down, everything is shutting down. It is so fucking eerie, right? There's no
Mhm.
gas stations open, there's no supermarket markets open, there's nothing open, there's no gas, um, nobody's on the road, and I was going to pick up my friend so she wouldn't be alone. And it was scary, and that was kind of like the start of me realizing how serious this really is.
Yeah.
So, we had water, we had we didn't have flashlights. We had what else did we had? We had candles.
Mhm.
We made chicken cutlets. We had, certain things, pizza, stuff like that. Food did go bad. We just tried to salvage as much as we could. But that night, it just started getting more intense, more intense, more intense. So we still had power. We were watching the news, and it
Yeah.
was like, oh, the Tampa Stadium got ripped off, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this thing is really strong. What I
Yeah.
was seeing, the damage being done. And I'm like, that's coming to us
Yeah.
right now.
When you hear Orlando's east of Tampa, and when you hear it hitting there, that eye wall's about like, X amount of time before it hits you. So that anxiety is building up,
Yes.
knowing that this monster is impending its doom on everybody, you, your family, and everybody else around you. And it's just, I can imagine.
I was so scared. I was outside. I have film segments from different times. It changed like every 30 minutes. This tree in my backyard was coming closer and closer and closer to the lanai. It just, I felt like I was seeing fucking demons, and the winds were picking up so strong, and the only way I could describe it was the sound of a demon.
Yeah, and that
I
when you said that, that was haunting.
and I'm not exaggerating,
No.
like a demon. And I felt like the roof was gonna come off, and I just remember watching the TV, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we still have power. That's when they were like 2 million people are without power. And I'm like, what? And then you're like, did it come over us yet? Is it here? Is it here? Because it's so strong. But you're like, but is this it? Is it gonna get worse?
Yeah.
And it it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then all of a sudden the power went out. And that's when it picked up like crazy, and you heard everything because everything was silent. And
Yeah, it was, and then when it finally the eye wall hits, like the eye wall comes over, when the eye of a
oh
hurricane passes, there's moments of calm there. You're like, oh, this is finally ending a little bit. But then
yeah.
when it's passing through and it's right over you, the winds coming
Oh
in and the winds going out, or vice versa, are just like you get a false sense of security, like, oh, it's over. But
yeah.
no, boom, it happens again and it starts all back up, and the entering and the exiting is just,
It
it's
was
terrible.
it was scary, and it was so intense. And the kids were up, they were nervous, we were all nervous, and then the aftermath, I slept maybe like 2 hours,
Hey,
and
Chicky.
and slept like 2 hours, and I woke up and there was trees everywhere, water was everywhere,
You
things
got
were just
you got great supporters on the TikTok of your wonderful family, Alice, the kids, everybody's throwing the love and throwing the supports and throw those likes out there. Absolutely, guys. And listen, what your mom is talking about, what you guys went through over there, that's really scary, and it had to be scary for you guys. What did it feel like for you, Robert and Josie? Put it in the chat what you guys felt like. How scary that was. But Chris, one thing comes up like ADHD in a crisis. Like you, I've seen this person. I've seen K-pop in action when crisis hits. It's like a switch goes on when you have ADHD. And it's
oh
like,
yeah.
what? There's 10 things that are going wrong. Here's how we're going to do it. Boom, 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 boom. Covered.
Yeah. In a crisis, I think we do best.
Yeah.
I think people with ADHD, I'm always like, great, this is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do it, this is how we're gonna rock it. You stay here, you do this, and that's what we were doing. I was like, I'll make the run, I'll go here. So, I mean, we had it basically covered, but it was just more like what was gonna happen.
Yeah. Somebody, Chicky posted in a comment, I shit my pants. I said- I don't, yeah, listen, hell. That sounds pretty accurate. Like, that's okay. That is A-okay.
Chicky
The
was
people,
in her room sleeping, curled up like a baby.
oh, yeah. Listen, sleeping your way through, I'm down for that. Well, listen, you made it through. There is damage. It's rough. The recovery is going to be God knows how long, and it's
Mm,
going to take as long as it takes. And I will say one thing that is good about crisis, and this is the only thing about good in these situations, is that it seems like the only time we come together in
yeah,
this country, it
yeah,
is not
yeah.
even to celebrate our victories, but it's during the times of crisis. And as Americans, like whatever your political beliefs are, left, right, middle, up, down, lizard people, non-lizard people, when something goes on in this country and we have to come together, we come together so hard and so proud and so willing no matter what. Our instinct is not who you are, it's what do you need and how can I help? And that's both sides everywhere.
Oh,
And I've seen that.
I say it left, right, whatever you are. No matter what goes on in a crisis, everybody fucking really does come together. That is
Yep.
so that is so right. That is
Yeah.
so right. I do apologize about that. Everybody does. They do come together, and unity is shown when crisis forms. So we know it's possible. We
Yep.
know it's possible. It's happened all the time,
Yeah.
you know, and I wish it would be consistent from
It
both
was,
sides.
yeah,
We can agree to disagree,
absolutely.
and but I think that it should always be all in love, and I think it should be all in support as we are in the same country. You know,
I
I
hear you.
think unity has to form some kind of way
Yeah.
between Democrats, Republicans, and I think everything would be run so much smoother, and there would be less problems, and like I said, you can agree to disagree. You
Yeah, we
can
can
we don't
concentrate on what we agree in and work
yeah.
out what we don't agree in. But
You
like in
know,
crisis, yeah, like in crisis, we rock. Like we're
we
great.
should all agree that we want the best for this country.
Yeah,
All
I
of
think both
us.
sides do agree on that. We just all have different ideas of how we get there.
Yeah.
But let's say that being said, what we were broadening up segues into our next idea. I want to be able to say one thing. Whether you're voting for Vice President Harris or President Trump, I don't think it necessarily demonizes either one who you are, what you believe because you're following policy. So we can do something tonight. We're going to say one good thing that we can recognize about each candidate and how they would work. Chris, who do you want to pick? Do you want to pick Vice President Harris or President Trump to say something nice about?
Um. So, well, I would have to.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I got one locked and loaded. I got one
See
locked and
that?
loaded. I got one locked and loaded for President Trump.
So wait, I can say something.
Yeah.
Um, President Trump, President Trump, President Trump. Um, was he the one that gave us the checks for COVID?
Yeah, no, listen, he gets credit for that. President Trump started Operation Warp Speed. Um Whatever you want to say how he handled COVID, the yeses or the nos, the good or the bad, Operation Warp Speed freed up a lot of money. A lot
So
of
that
money.
is my good. My that is
Yeah, that is
my
absolutely.
good quality of Trump.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
opened up Operation Warp Speed, get funding for research, expedited the vaccine process, got money
Thank
left and
you.
right for us. Yeah, so yeah,
Hell
no, he
yeah,
gets a
I
lot of
agree.
credit for that.
There's
Yeah,
good things. I just can't. That is one of the main things that I could think of.
gotcha.
There is other things. I'm not gonna say that
Yeah, no,
there's
we
not.
just did one. We just did one.
Yeah.
So we got that one.
So
Do you got one
listen,
for
go
Vice
on.
President Harris?
Um,
Oh, let me get this one. Vice President Harris, I believe, is absolutely qualified to be president. That's my qualification wise. Whether you agree politically with policy, qualifications are absolutely there. She has served this country in so many steps and so many forms. She's qualified. She's definitely qualified to do the job.
can can I piggyback off that? Because I
Yeah, go
totally
for it.
agree. I
Absolutely.
totally agree with you on that. I
Yeah.
think she is presidential qualification to the T. She has everything, her demeanor, the way she speaks, the way she acts, the way she is mature,
Mhm.
and the way she watches what she says. And, it's not for fan base. Um, so I mean, she does. She speaks well. I can't say again. There's not things that there's things I disagree and agree with what
Yeah.
they say politically, but
Yeah,
we're here to
absolutely.
just say that I
Yeah.
think I agree with you.
And I got mine for President Trump. Now, again, politically, ideologically, I can't vote for him. But here's the thing. I think that he has been, and I'm going to get heat for this one, the best champion for free speech in the last 30 years
Word,
of anybody running for office in this country.
word.
Take it from that as you will. Whether you agree with him or whether you don't agree with him, the one thing I think a lot of people, and one thing I liked about him too, is that he says what he says. And he speaks it. And I think he says it without fear. That's my point. And I think that's the most important thing that we need to be able to do is say what we say, even if it's hogwash, poppycock, nonsense, BS. Doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that's what he's saying. I'm saying no matter what it is we say, the conversations start, education starts, healing starts when we talk, regardless of what we say. I mean, it's just speaking is important. And
Oh, it is.
he opened up the block for everybody to say what they say and say what they feel. I think that's important. I think that was lacking for a long time.
That's a good point. I like that. I
Yeah.
really do like that, Johnny. I do.
Thank you.
I high five on that because that
Yes, I
that
will take the
was
high fives on that one. And like I said, these are just things that we can say. We can find something good about the other opposition. They're not Republicans, Democrats. They're not each other's enemies. They're the opposition. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
The-
there's good qualities and bad qualities in everyone. So,
absolutely.
and I'm always open to any good quality in anyone. You could be a freaking
Then he
serial
likes
killer.
everybody. Mwah. And I say, that leads into the next thing I was talking about. I have to put on my readers for this one because this
Let's
is a
see
this
them
is a
readers, Johnny. Let's see them
this is a
readers.
topic of discussion that is very difficult to come to. Is how do you be friends or maintain the friendships with the people you have friends with who have extremely different political views than you do? And I'm going to give you a personal case for me. And this is just, again, all opinion. I have friends that are staunch conservatives who I adore. I have friends who are bleeding liberals, bleeding heart liberals, who I adore. And these groups used to be able to intertwine and intermix more. But
Hmm.
now I find, like, hanging out with one group or you're hanging out with the other. People can't seem to
Yeah.
get into the middle of it.
Okay, there's no gray area.
No. The old adage of agree to disagree doesn't seem like it's there anymore. It's either, hey,
Hmm.
you don't believe what I believe, or, I can't talk to you. And I think I don't know how to get past that. How do we get people past that? What do you think?
I mean, this has been going on for quite some time and quite a
Yeah,
few
it's nothing
years.
new.
You
Yeah.
know, this has been going on for like 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it's a really strong battle, and it's a very pink elephant in the room. When you are at a family event that's full of like Trump supporters, and you can't speak negatively and about that person. You
Yeah.
can't really. You just have to basically get in where you fit in to avoid conflict, because it becomes such a sensitive subject, because it becomes such a sensitive subject, um
Yep.
where we can't bring it up.
Yeah.
I've argued with friends over the dumbest things. You like, if you post something, then your whole post becomes this whole political war battle. And it becomes, now if you post something, it's like I have to be like, this is not a political warfare
Yeah.
right here. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Please do not, excuse me one second, Robert. Can you tell John to add me as a tonight request? I know you requested to be on. Not tonight. Okay?
What's he doing? He's just floating around?
No, tell her that I request. He said he requested
Got it.
to be on the TikTok.
Yeah, got him. I didn't see it because I don't have my glasses on, but absolutely.
Right now. He said he'll
Request,
put you on.
request approved.
I'm doing it right now, so tell him. Okay.
Go ahead, I got him. Don't worry about it. He's good.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
That's
He
why I
wants to
was
be
like,
sorry.
I was trying to answer you, and he was there. I'm
Yeah.
like, if you didn't
Listen,
see, I'm like, I don't want him to think like I'm slowing now. It's like I
yeah.
was sitting there, like trying to not let Robert be heard, until I was like, you know what, forget it. He wants to be on the show. I'm like, no. But
Hey, Robert, he's on. You're good, buddy.
oh my gosh,
Whoa.
that is not coming from my house.
So we got Robert Muscles on there. That's it.
Robert, not out here. Not out here,
You're gonna
Robert.
give us
Go
feedback.
over there. Go in there, Robert. Hey, John.
Hold on one sec, Kate. What's up, Rob?
Yeah. What are you guys?
We're talking about life and the magic that is life, bud. Sure, send a request. Go for it. Get in there. K-pop, I'm sorry. Go for it.
You like my little thing that I made?
I love it.
Cute, right?
That's fantastic. I love
Cute.
it. Where's your Southwestern stuff?
Oh, it's in there where it's loud. I don't want to go in there because then
I
they're
don't
all
blame
gonna
you.
they're what, Rico? They're all going to keep distracting me. Or I'm like Sorry guys, I can't multitask sometimes.
Got you. Don't stress it. Don't worry about it. I had to take my mic off. I love you guys, but I can't listen to you and talk to you, talk to K-pop at the same time. So I took my headset off. Don't be offended. I don't have my glasses on.
They'll be
We're
okay.
good.
They'll be
And
fine.
listen, it's we're talking about getting back and forth with people we disagree with politically and keeping the conversation open and honest with each other and just understanding what it's like to be with people who don't believe the same as you do, but still respect them.
I mean, some it's hard. Some of them are really hardcore believers. Shh, Rico, not right now. Not right now, kid. Well, some of them are really hardcore believers, and like I don't want to have to like lie. I'm not trying to lie about what I believe in
Yeah,
because I'm gonna keep it real, but I really can't be so opinionated. You know,
yeah.
it's you have to. It depends on where you are, you know, and who you're with. You know, and that's why I don't even like to talk political with anyone. It's just it has become such a touchy subject. Like, and it causes such big disagreements. Family members don't talk to each other.
No, it does. You're right.
You know, fathers, sons, brothers. You know, they don't talk. Best friends don't talk. It's crazy.
Hold on 1 second. All right. I love them to death, but I had to. I hope they don't get too mad. Couldn't hear what them talking in the background, so I disconnected them. I love you, Robert and Juliet. Don't be mad. It's just I can't I can't multitask right now to hear you guys, and we got to
We
talk
get
about
it.
some
See.
important stuff. I love you both. So yeah, like arguing back and forth with people who different agree differently. It's just believe differently. It's hard,
Well, it
but
is.
there's ways around it. We could figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try. I do my best. I don't care who the hell you believe in. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. We
I'm an
agree.
open book. I don't judge you for who you like, what you do. As long as you're cool, I'm cool.
Absolutely. Be cool, and that's it. And respect each other's beliefs.
Oh,
Okay,
we all believe the same.
that's it. All right, let's talk because we're getting into this in time frames. It's harder. We're at 27 minutes, and let's talk about one of the other subjects. And we're talking about is mental illness in this country
Okay.
and how it's still the dirty secret that families keep in the closet, not wanting to address when we have family members or anybody that's suffering from mental illness. And I think that what is the view over here? I was pulled up some statistics over here before from the NIH website, and it was 29. Okay, according to recent estimates, wow, 1 in 5 adults in the United States, or roughly 23% of Americans, live with diagnosable mental illness. 59.3 million people in this country are living and suffering and diagnosable with mental illness, and they're not, seeking attention, or it's not that they're not. I think that we put it so it's so it's such a stigma about it, and
Mm-hmm.
seeking help is a sign of weakness. What do you think?
Well, I think it is a stigmata, and I think there is it takes a certain steps for people to become comfortable with accepting that they have a mental illness and discussing it with people and not hiding it, or, sometimes people stop taking their medication, without anyone noticing. And people do these things that, when they're unmedicated, they're declared a menace to society, especially we all suffer from something, I'm pretty sure I'm bipolar. I've never been diagnosed with it. I know I got fucked up, messed up problems, I know I do. I don't know all of them, but the one thing I do know is that I have ADHD. That is the one
Yeah,
thing, but I'm sure I could be diagnosed with something and probably getting help for something other than that. You know, depression. Um, a lot of people
Absolutely.
do try to mask it,
And self-medicate, we all do.
and self medicate. That's another thing. A lot of people with mental illness go right to substance.
Yeah,
You
well, I
know.
mean, it's just sometimes just to quiet the voices or just capture a little bit of happiness and or some dopamine hit and way to feel normal.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean the health management system here is not the best, and that's the
No.
other part of the problem. That is the biggest problem, and why so many go untreated,
Yep.
unrecognized, misdiagnosed, just given whatever because they are treated like guinea pigs here.
Yeah.
And it's at the cost of the American dollar, um to keep that money circulating because now they need another medication because that medication didn't work and that medication didn't work.
Yep.
Then this is all at the cost of the human brain
Hmm.
that is getting completely distorted.
You made a really good point, and it just made me think of something else building off of what you said. You
Mm-hmm.
know how hard it is to find a therapist, psychiatrist, or
Oh,
psychologist with insurance that
yeah.
takes insurance?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Or you gotta wait like 6 months.
Yeah.
You gotta wait a neurologist. You gotta wait like 6, 7, 8, 9 months.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have ADHD, trying to keep an appointment
Yes,
that you've made
man.
can be a little tricky at times.
Dude, yeah, that is, you hit it right on the nail because once you miss that appointment, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got to go in to get your script because it
Yeah.
is a narcotic.
Yeah.
So,
I will say I want to give a shout out to LifeStance.
what's up?
LifeStance is the mental health organization that it seems like formed over the last few years. That's in almost every state now that I understand. It's mostly online. And I found them about 2 years ago to deal with my anxiety and ADHD. And it's been, you know, there and they take insurance. They take
So
insurance.
wait, you do it through
Yep.
telemed?
Telemedicine. Yep. Absolutely. It do telemedicine. You could do it in person if there's somebody closer. But I mean, the fact that it's telemedicine all online,
What?
yeah, it makes it so much
Mm,
easier to actually,
no way.
it's LifeStance. If you don't know it, I'm going to throw the link in this to go check it out. It's a great organization. Hopefully, it's in your state. I think they're in like almost every state now. And it's been a game changer for me actually seeking help for my mental issues. And I recommend it to anybody who
Awesome.
listens. And
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's help that's there, but sometimes you got to realize that sometimes you need it. Some guys, guys especially, feel or they're ingrained to feel like, they shouldn't seek help because if you're seeking help, you're not a man. If you're
Mm.
feeling feelings or you're dealing with your feelings, that's not manly. That's GAF. You know what GA? Yeah. Well, anybody, I'm not going to say the word, but no Diddy.
I don't know what that is.
It's I'll tell you later. I'm afraid to say it. Well, it's gay as F. If you're, yeah.
Oh.
So, anybody seeking help for their feelings, if you're a guy, you're put in this position where you got to be the strong one, head of everything, but you're not allowed to have a bad mental health day. And I think a lot of men could use some really good mental health, assistance. And, it's okay to have feelings for guys. You're all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I think so. I agree. All right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to not put my readers back on and read this thing that I wrote. So I'm squinting to see it because I don't want to put the glasses on again because I'm vain. Okay, I'm vain. Trying to be pretty.
You're so vain.
I bet you think this cast
So
is about you. No, let me stop.
don't you
Oh, the
go
cats just ran under the bed when I
to
started singing. Oh, poor things.
oh,
Yeah.
kitty.
So I think we can start winding down. And one thing I want us to go over is something I think that we can all do and more of. And I don't even care if people are advertising. It's just random acts of kindness. And those random acts of kindness don't have to be paying somebody's rent. It could be letting somebody with 3 packages and you have a full cart cut in front of you at the Publix. It could
Word.
be smiling at somebody who looks like they're having a miserable day. It could be as simple as calling your friend and checking on them after a hurricane and making sure they're okay.
It could be as simple as calling your friend and making sure they're awake because they're driving so much and they're very tired.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that random acts of kindness, small gestures that we, I try to get myself on a budget system. This is gonna sound stupid, but it's like, what's my good deed for the day? Remember, my grandmother used to say, "What was your good deed for the day?" And now I try to keep that in the back of my head, in the chamber, remembering, like, what did I do today to make somebody smile or do something nice for somebody that had no reward in the back end of it. It was just the thing to do to try to build a little bit of more positivity in a negative environment. And I try to keep that front here as I'm going throughout my day. Now, it doesn't always happen, but we try.
But we
Work in
try.
progress.
I mean, I think we always do something kind at least once a day. We just don't realize it.
Yeah. All right. We hit our 35-minute mark, and that's going to take it too much load to upload. So, Chris, you opened us up, K-pop. I'm going to close this out. Thank you for joining us for another live stream on TikTok and another podcast recording for Precious Trauma, where it's two people dealing with the ways of trying to figure out how to get through life
Hmm.
without doing too much damage to the people we care about around us. And
Don't tell them that.
yeah. But yeah, another time there's going to be some links in there for what we talked about for mental health,
Awesome.
and we'll stay tuned for the next one. We're going to break this down, edit it, and thank you for joining us again in K-pop. Till our next time, Spicy Saturdays.
Yes, yes, guys. Next time, Spicy Saturdays. Thank you for joining us. Bye, babies.
Precious trauma, reminding us forever. Precious trauma, it's who we are. Precious trauma, we see through. Precious trauma, you're a part of who we are.